about the debate over pronouns that we hear about?
I'm going to be 80 years old tomorrow.
Happy birthday.
Thanks. And what does it mean? I have never seen anything like this in my 80 years. I've seen a lot since the 1940s when I was born, and this is the worst. What do we mean pronouns? I mean, there's an X and Y chromosome. Are we going against science? I'm not a science denier.
This Trump supporter is attempting to justify his outrage at the mere thought of using someone's preferred pronouns. He's claiming that it's backed by science, despite the fact that that's a ridiculous claim. You will very quickly see that this man is, in fact, a science denier.
Are we going against science? I'm not a science denier.
Okay, so were you a vaccine supporter?
Zero.
But science made the vaccines.
What science?
I'm Rayy Vana, and welcome back to Rebel HQ. Before we talk about the fact that this man is a liar and absolutely does deny the science, I want to remind you of something he said a little bit earlier about pronoun usage.
And what does it mean? I have never seen anything like this in my 80 years. I've seen a lot since the 1940s when I was born, and this is the worst.
This man claims that the worst thing he's seen in his 80 years on this earth is people using preferred pronouns. Just a little reminder of some of the things that happened in those 80 years. Segregation, apartheid, the AIDS epidemic, Vietnam War, 9/11. More school shootings than I could count. But a trans person existing is worse than every single one of those. Okay, now that that's out of the way, let's talk about how this man claims he doesn't deny the science, but doesn't support the vaccine. And of course, we should expect that kind of blatant hypocrisy from someone who still supports Donald Trump in the year 2023. But it is funny to see him defend both of those absolutely incoherent positions, one right after the other. Because if he was, in fact, a science supporter, he would both support the vaccine and support trans people's right to exist. Science actually dictates to us that best practices when interacting with trans people is to refer to them by their preferred pronouns. But again, I wouldn't expect this guy to know the first thing about science. And he doubles and triples down on his anti-scientific takes when questioned about it. Take a look.
Who made the science?
I mean, doctors.
Science that says there's stuff in this spike proteins and other things that are in these vaccines that are harmful to us. Why do we have such a spike in myocarditis in young people? Why?
First of all, it's myocarditis, not whatever the hell it was that he just said. Second of all, it's higher because people are getting COVID. It is the lasting impact of having the disease, not the vaccine. And that is what the science tells us. And now he's going to try to square his anti-vaccine stance with his support for Donald Trump, who has on multiple occasions said he supports the vaccine and was, of course, the president when the vaccine was created.
So so that doesn't disqualify you from supporting Trump, who was really the godfather of the vaccine?
He did what anybody would do at the time. You know, it came on quick. He tried to do the best that he could. I don't hold that against him.
Yet you think that the vaccines weren't science?
Zero. No.
But he supported them, and he's considered the godfather of the vaccine.
That's just an expression. I'm not buying it. I don't buy it.
It must be so convenient for Trump supporters that anything he does is good, regardless of how antithetical it is to their individual beliefs. This is a guy who thinks that the vaccine is killing people, but is fine with the fact that Trump says that the vaccine is good and that people should get it. No type of consistency in their beliefs whatsoever. And thus, the evidence continues to mount that Trump supporters are in a cult, led by Donald Trump himself, and that you need to vote in this upcoming election to ensure that people who think pronouns are the worst thing to happen in their lifetimes and that the vaccine is worse than the virus are not deciding who the next president of the United States is.